Do you ever get interrupted when you're doing something and you have to go and do something else and you can't stop thinking about the thing you were doing before? You didn't complete it. You didn't get it done, didn't finish it. And because of that, it's on your mind. You keep thinking about it. Keep thinking about the fact that you have to get it done, have to complete it. Our minds seem to know the difference between tasks that we've completed and tasks that we haven't completed, that are incomplete. And it seems to be able, our mind seems to be able to remind us, to keep reminding us to do something, remind us that we have to do something that we haven't done yet. It seems to know the difference between a task, between something that's done, that we've done, and something we still have to do. So that when we're interrupted, when someone else interrupts what we're doing and gets us to do something else, or when we've run out of time and can't complete what we're doing, we have to go and do something else. We have to go to work or to school or something else. Then often that thing that we couldn't complete will stay on our minds. We'll keep thinking about it. We'll keep being reminded of it. Another example is not when something or someone else interrupts you while you're doing something. It's when you don't do something. When there's something that you know you should do, it would be good to do, but you don't do it because you're too lazy and you don't want to do it. Often our mind knows that it's something we really should do, and it keeps bugging us. It keeps reminding us. We keep thinking about the fact that we need to do this. We need to get it done. We need to complete it. It's often unpleasant. It's something unpleasant to not be able to relax and focus on something else. It's unpleasant to be constantly reminded of all the different things we haven't done. So it's better to get things done, to do something all at once, to start it and finish it at the same time. It's better not to leave it incomplete. It's better that we don't keep being reminded about something we still need to do, that we didn't finish. Or is it? So one thing our mind does is to remind us when we haven't completed something. That's good if it's something we really need to do. But it would be better if we just got it done in the first place, got it done all at once, and then we wouldn't need to be constantly reminded. But another thing our mind does that isn't as obvious as the reminders is that our subconscious continues to work on the thing we were doing. We've stopped, we've been interrupted, and we've started doing something else. We're focused on something else consciously, but our subconscious continues to work on the thing that we've physically stopped doing. This is a positive. It's actually an advantage to being interrupted or interrupting yourself, to changing between tasks, because it gives your mind the chance to come up with new ideas, to make new connections between different ideas that when you were consciously focusing on the work you couldn't think of. But when you go away and do something else, your subconscious mind makes these new connections and comes up with new ideas. So that when we come back to the task, we sit down and start to work on it again, we continue it, we've got all these new ideas, new perspectives about how we can complete it. Maybe we have ideas about how we can complete it faster than we had before. Totally new ideas about ways we could do it better. So actually it's good we were interrupted, because now we can get an end result that's better than before. Or all sorts of other things, interesting ideas that can come to you when you've taken a break from doing something, when you've been interrupted and gone and done something else. It's not just within your mind new connections being made, but when you're interrupted and you go to other places, go and do other things, you're seeing lots of new things. You're getting lots of new information. And because our mind knows that we have this incomplete task that we still need to do, it's checking all this new information that it's seeing and hearing or smelling or anything else. It's checking all this new information for what might help us to complete the incomplete task. It's using all this new information to come up with new ideas. It's connecting it to the old information subconsciously, even if consciously we're not thinking about the task. All the new information that we're getting from the world around us is used to help us with the incomplete task. But that doesn't mean that switching tasks is a good thing. It doesn't mean that multitasking, that constantly changing back and forth between doing different things, is a good thing. Because you've got to think, if the thing that you stop doing you actually continue to think about when you're doing something else, then that means that when you come back, the second thing, the new thing, that now is the thing being interrupted, will continue to be on your mind in the original task. So when you're trying to focus on the original incomplete thing, the thing you need to get done, and trying to use all these new ideas that your subconscious has come up with, you're going to be, a lot of your focus, your thinking might be about the second activity. So it depends with what sort of activity are you interrupting yourself. If you've got two things that require a lot of focus, a lot of thinking and mental effort, it's not a good idea to jump back and forth between the two of them, to interrupt one with the other and back and forth. Because when you're working on one and need to be focusing on it, part of your mind will be on the other one. What's good is to interrupt yourself with mindless activities, with things that you don't really need to think about. So when you're doing something that requires focus and mental effort, then you stop, you interrupt yourself and go and do something physical. It could be just exercise, going for a run or doing some sort of exercise. But even if it is work, something difficult work, it has to be something physically difficult. It could be cleaning the house, vacuuming, sweeping, cleaning the dishes, or whatever. But the point is you don't have to think about it too much, so that when you stop that, it's not something you'll be thinking about, that your subconscious will be trying to figure out when you go back to the original activity. All right, I hope you found this video interesting. See you next time. And don't forget that you can support me on Patreon. The link is in the description below.